Hey, Right Stuff LA, this is for you. It's Nico. Nico from the Velvet Underground. How's everybody doing? I thought last night's show was incredible. Go listen to it if you haven't. The new Small G Gay show. I usually don't say that. And the first like third of it is kind of slow. And I was like talking all about how depressed I was. The Tea Party was over, and I wasn't even gonna vote, and all this stuff. And Kyle was depressed, like Nico. And we decided to do a show. And then Steve joined us, and all hell broke loose. And Kyle and Steve went at it. It was insane. Check it out. It was insane. It was like fireworks were flying, and it was just like two bitches. It was Dynasty. I loved it. It was just insane. And everybody had a horse in that race. They were like, "Go, Kyle, go!" Or like, "Steve, Steve!" I think Rush Limbaugh was for Steve. I don't know what Rush Limbaugh is thinking anymore. He's just impossible to predict. He just likes to be, he's like that Ann Coulter. He just has to be like the one that has the position that everybody hates. He looks for that. I'm kind of drawn to that kind of person, if you notice that, because Steve is like that and so's Kyle. They both. Oh, everybody hates Mitt Romney? I like him. I happen to be for Santorum because of his stance on gays. You know, like whatever. I like John Huntsman. whatever everybody hates, like my friends are like the ones in defiance of it. So anyway, the show was so great that I think I want to do like a counterpoints. I think I'm going to call it counterpoints. And I'm just going to like set those two at each other like once a week. You know, Steve has his own show now that he's a star. And it's on Mitt Romney Radio Thursdays at 9. I'll plug it a little bit, even though it's Mitt Romney. So I was feeling, you know, kind of depressed yesterday. And then if you listen to the show, I talked about how I saw the preview for the new movie that Stephen Bannon did with Andrew Breitbart, all about Occupy, and how it just reminded me what we're fighting for about, you know, this crazy entrenched left. And you guys, this is not like anything we've ever faced before. This is like, and everyone keeps comparing to what we're going through now with Jimmy Carter. No, there's no comparison. What we're facing now is 1968, and Abby Hoffman is the president. That's what we're facing. And I just feel like, and this is kind of what I was thinking, but the person who really verbalized it beautifully today was Andrew Breitbart. More on that later at CPAC. And I don't think that we have the luxury. I think that we have to take anybody. I think we may have to take Mitt. I think we may have to take Santorum. I don't know who it's going to be, but whoever it is, we're not going to be able to play this picky game that we've been playing, this prissy, picky game. You know, I think we're going to have to just go for it. And the thing of it is, and this is something where Rush Limbaugh was right, when you're getting to the point where you're coming up with conspiracy theories about everybody in the media, you got to say, okay, wait a minute. Okay, Glenn Beck, yes, and Drudge, yes, they're pigs. But you know what I mean? Like when it's everybody, it's kind of like, okay, just get out the tinfoil. You know what that means? It means you're losing. Have you ever noticed when someone's winning, they don't have any problems like that with like the mainstream media? Then it's just beautiful. I mean, of course, the liberal media we always have a problem with, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been thinking lately. I watched a lot of the clips of CPAC today. I haven't seen Newt's speech yet. I've been having a hard time finding it. I think I retweeted it at one point earlier today, but I was at work, and I haven't been able to find it yet. I listened to parts of Santorum's speech, and I'm sorry to say I was bored. I don't find him inspiring. I don't find him exciting. I find him very dull and very whiny. He reminds me of Marilyn Quayle, because he's always like, you ignore us, but there are millions of social conservatives. And I think that that's fine. I understand where they're coming from, and we need social conservatives that keep this country going. They're the rock. I understand the importance of social conservative values in the United States of America. I understand it's part of the Constitution. I understand all that, but will it sell? I talked about this on last night's show. I think we need to look again to Reagan. Look at the way Palin does it, where it's clear. She was a social conservative. Reagan was a social conservative, but they were open to everybody and inclusive of everybody, because otherwise, I mean, people aren't going to want to vote for the one telling them to, go to the square dance on Saturday night rather than the crack den. They won't do it. They won't go there. And you have to do it in such a way. It's difficult. That's why it's so hard for social cons to win, especially in this day and age where people have been devolved into these brutes. I mean, it's really hard. I just don't think Santorum's up to doing that. I think you have to be like a Reagan and really, really smart, charismatic. So I have to tell you. I mean, I'm really thinking. I know this is shocking and this is going to upset people, but I think Mitt might be my number 2 now. I do, because as much as I dislike Mitt, I don't know. I feel like he's more realistic than Santorum. So anyway, speeches. I listened to Coulter. She was okay. I tweeted a couple of Coulter's lines because I was inspired by the Unity theme, and I was trying to like her. Honestly, I thought she was a little tired and a little played out. She had a couple of good quips, but I don't know. I think she needs a relaunch. I think she needs a reimagining Ann Coulter, because she's getting stale. I thought Marco Rubio opened really well. He had some really great lines, some really good remarks, but then it kind of got into the typical Marco Rubio speech, the uplift stuff about the Shining City, and it was a little bland, although overall I liked it. But I thought the ending of it wasn't quite as strong as the beginning. I sound really picky too, but whatever. Who else did I listen to? The best speech so far that I've heard, I haven't heard all of them. The best speech, without a doubt, was Andrew Breitbart's, who energized, inspired, reminded us what we're doing, and he was really kind of speaking about the themes that we were kind of coming to on our show last night. That whoever this is, we're going to have to support them, that we all need to start trying to get together again rather than fighting all the time with each other, that we are facing Occupy, just like I'd mentioned, and that this is a threat, that the entire world is at stake, and that we have to march behind whoever gets the nomination. I really loved it. I thought it was right on and timely. I really love the fact that he hinted that he's got dirt on Obama. Apparently, he has a video of Obama from his college years, and he's going to vet Obama this year. We're going to put Obama on the constant defense, because they're going to be like breaking windows and doing crap. Soros is saying that Occupy is going to be violent this time. So I should say more violent. They already were violent. So, and as it becomes more and more clear that the Republicans are probably going to win big this year, the Democrats are going to get more and more desperate and crazy. So I think we need to kind of get more realistic and a bit more pragmatic, So I felt really inspired by it, like he always does when he's on, and that really made it for me. So, I don't know. I was listening to the show last night after I finished it, and Kyle and I were talking about it afterwards, and I don't know. Kyle is so strong. Kyle, but he's young, and Steve's strong, and he's young. They're strong in different ways, but they're really opinionated, and they weren't afraid to get in there and fight. My God, did you hear how quick some of Kyle's comebacks were? I was so impressed with his dexterity, his arguments. I think Kyle should be a lawyer or something. Maybe he'll end up a politician. Wouldn't that be exciting if he became a politician? I'm so invested in these kids. I just love them to pieces, and I want nothing but the best for both of them. But I was listening to them, and Kyle was like, "You're like the one who's like the nice one," and I was kind of like, but he said it was good because I'm like the mature one, and I'm the host, and that is part of it. But also when Kyle will start ripping into Mormons, I think about my Mormon listeners, who I'm happy to have. You know, it's like when they go after these people, or the homocons. I mean, I have homocon friends, and, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, I'm the one who's kind of like the parent, you know, the little league coach while the kids are fighting. So maybe that is who I am. Maybe I'm the grown up now. But anyway, enough introspection. Like you don't need any more of that from me. Speaking of gays, Go Proud. I think Go Proud today was, now I've had problems with Go Proud. Everybody has had problems with Go Proud. They wouldn't be Go Proud without having problems with them. And, you know, Kyle can't stand them. I don't think Steve's even that big on them. And Just Another Mo can't stand them from a conservative Democrat point of view. I've actually been a Go Proud supporter, and I've met both of the guys, and I've even gotten to know them a little bit. I've gotten to know Jimmy especially a little bit on social media, and I like them both very much. Even Chris. And, you know, about, you know, want to know something? I think that this is something I wanted to say. I think that Steve Politic makes Chris Barron look like Mitt Romney when it comes to Mitt Romney. I think that, like, he makes Chris Barron look like really laid back on Mitt Romney. So anyway, the guys weren't allowed to go this year, and, you know, at first I supported it because I do think that Go Proud has a gay agenda, frankly. And I agree with the social cons on that because they are ultimately about getting Republicans to go along with gay marriage and ending gays in the military and everything, or ending Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I mean, that definitely is part of their quotient, and I understand where they're coming from on that. I mean, I understand where the social cons are coming from on that. On the other hand, as I discovered for myself recently, and you heard it on this blog, so do the gay Latinos, so do the feminists for life, so do the Mormon groups and the Catholic groups and the Jewish Republican groups, and there are dozens of different identity groups. So why not gays? You know, and you can just bat aside their nonsense. You know, whatever, for what it's worth, I think that Go Proud should be there. Eventually, I think they will be back, and I think it says a lot about them that they've been so classy this week. And they haven't called for a boycott, and they just had an open house, and I was invited, and I wasn't able to make it. I'm sorry, you guys, and, you know, whatever. I think it's about unity, and, you know, whatever. I think it says a lot about them, and, you know, we all have tempers, and they've done some things that I have not been keen on either, and I like Rick Perry. But still, I mean, can you honestly say, is there anyone that hasn't ticked you off at some point? So, for what it's worth, shout out to Go Proud. And that's it for this vlog. I hope that you're all doing well. I'm supposedly doing a show tomorrow night. I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll do more fighting. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.